Some of the things you struggle with today didn't begin with you. The way you react when someone is angry, the way you deal with conflict, the guilt you feel when you put yourself first, the fear of disappointing people, the need to keep everyone happy, the belief that being strong means never needing anyone. You may call these personality traits, but sometimes they are family patterns. And that's what we are going to talk about in this series. Not just trauma, not just the painful things our families pass down, but the invisible things like the beliefs, fears, roles, the way we learned to love, the ways we learned to survive, and the things we were taught without anyone ever actually teaching us. Think about the home you grew up in. What happened when somebody was angry? Did people talk about it? Or did everyone go silent? What happened when somebody was hurt? Were they comforted? Or were they told to get over it? What happened when you made a mistake? Could you make one and still feel loved? Or did mistakes come with shame? And what happened when your parents disagreed? Did they communicate? Did they fight? Did they avoid each other? Did somebody always have to give in? You were a child. You probably weren't analyzing any of this. You were simply watching. But children learn from what they repeatedly experience. And eventually, what they experience becomes what they expect. A child who grows up around silence may become an adult who doesn't know how to have difficult conversations. A child who grows up watching a parent constantly sacrificing themselves may learn that love means putting everyone else first. A child who sees emotions being dismissed may learn to hide their own. A child who watches money being treated as something frightening may grow up feeling unsafe even when there is enough. A child who watches one parent constantly keep the peace may become an adult who thinks conflict automatically means that the relationship is in danger. Nobody had to sit them down and teach these lessons. They absorbed them. That's what makes inherited patterns so powerful. You don't always know what you're carrying them. And here's something we don't talk about enough. Our families don't only pass down behaviors, they pass down rules. Rules like don't talk about family problems outside the house. Don't question your elders. A good daughter adjusts. A good wife sacrifices. Men don't show weakness. Children shouldn't answer back. Family comes first. Keep your marriage together at any cost. Don't embarrass the family. Work hard and don't complain. Be grateful for what you have. Don't trust people too easily. Don't depend on anyone. Some of these rules may have protected previous generations, but protection isn't always the same thing as health. A rule that helped someone survive their life may become a limitation in yours. And that's where this conversation becomes personal. Think about something you do today that you don't fully understand. Maybe you apologize when you haven't done anything wrong. Maybe you struggle to say no. Maybe you feel uncomfortable receiving help. Maybe you become extremely independent when you're hurt. Maybe you need everything under control. Maybe you don't know how to rest without feeling guilty. Instead of asking what's wrong with me, try asking, where did I learn this from? And that question changes everything. Because perhaps there is nothing inherently wrong with you. Perhaps there is a strategy you learned a long time ago, and you have simply continued using it because nobody ever taught you another one. But understanding our family patterns isn't about blaming our parents, because they inherited things too, Their fears came from somewhere, their beliefs came from somewhere, their way of parenting came from somewhere. They were shaped by their parents were shaped by theirs. And that is how patterns can travel through generations. Not because anyone sits down and decides, I want my child to carry this, but because unexamined pain tends to repeat itself until somebody becomes conscious enough to question it. And maybe that person can be you. Not because you're responsible for fixing your entire family. No, you are not. You don't have to heal everybody. You don't have to understand that every generation that came before you. And you don't certainly have to carry the guilt for things you didn't create. Your responsibility is much smaller than you actually think. Just notice what you're carrying, understand it, question it, and decide what you want to do with it. Because not everything we inherit needs to be discarded, and that's important. Your family may have given you resilience, faith, humor, generosity, discipline, stories, traditions, the ability to survive difficult circumstances. There are beautiful things that travel through generations too. So, this isn't about saying my family damaged me. It's about becoming honest enough to say, this is what I received. And what do I want to keep? And then ask yourself, what do I want to stop here? Maybe that's what healing actually looks like sometimes. Not becoming completely different from the people who came before you, but simply becoming conscious enough to choose, to say, their fear doesn't have to become my fear. Their silence doesn't have to become my silence. Their way of loving doesn't have to be the only way I know how to love. Their unfinished story doesn't have to become mine. And perhaps most importantly, I can honor where I came from without repeating everything that happened there. So before we move into the next conversation, just sit with one question. What did I inherit that I have never consciously chosen? Maybe a belief, a fear, a role, reaction, a family rule. Don't try to fix everything today. Just notice it. Because you cannot consciously choose what to carry forward until you become aware of what you are already carrying. This is Generations. 15 conversations about what we inherit, what we repeat, and what we finally get to choose. And in this series, this time, we are going deeper. I'm AK, and this is Silence Between Coffee. I will see you in the next conversation. Until then, take gentle care of yourself.